we have to help them figure it out. And we also have a really robust asset tracking system as well. And it's the details that matter.
Hello and welcome back to Klik TV, where we talk about everything related to IT, from your technology down to your security, sharing our best tips and tricks for a better IT experience. My name is Paulina, and today we have special guests here at Klik TV, Twigs Sevco, a business development manager, and Tucker Gladhill, a director of technology services at JK Moving Services. Hello guys, how are you?
Good, thank you for having us today.
Thanks for coming today. And how do you take care of sensitive equipment when moving into another location?
It's another great question, Paulina. And again, what really differentiates us when relocating physical IT infrastructure is the planning phases.
Right.
There's a lot of folks in our industry, they have air ride equipped trucks, they have warehousing. There's a lot of synergies there within our industry. Where we differentiate ourselves is being able to understand the subject matter, being able to align at the planning phases with the CIO, with the chief technology officer, with the technology team that's looking at your current state, planning your desired future result, and understanding all the steps within your business continuity strategy leading up to the physical relocation, if there yields a physical relocation of IT assets. And so what companies tend to do is really kind of develop that plan without our expertise when it comes to the logistics solutions that we provide. And then it kind of gets handed off to us. Right. And then we have to help them figure it out. Where we can continue to mitigate risk or mitigate risk on the front end and help reduce downtime, reduce costs, is really having that seat at the table during the planning phases. And so that's where we're identifying what the desired future result is, what hardware is end of life, what we really are going to be working with. And so when it comes down to physically working with the equipment, we're following best practices. We're putting an anesthetic bubble on all the equipment. We're doing inventory asset tagging. We're looking at the physical infrastructure of the chassis of the equipment. If it's a fully populated server rack or a mainframe, we're really looking at critical path. Sometimes we'll build custom crates with shock plates, with levelers. We've got the foam. I mean, it's custom fit for your need. Then we also have a really robust asset tracking system as well, because a lot of folks, especially a lot of data centers, they want to know where their assets are and what evolution of their life cycle their assets are currently in. And so, although we're not in the software phase of predicting the end of life, we can complement that if an organization lets us know that, hey, all your UPSs, you got about another 6 months and we've got to swap these out. So we can have that information in real time based on our asset and inventory tracking, where we can go in and help, again, add to that business continuity plan, which allows a predictive outcome for organizations to continue to scale up if they're hiring new or to swap out to new legacy type of equipment. So even our best practices as an industry, we're using traditional masonite, which chips. It leaves dust particles. Those are things that we've taken into consideration when it comes to risk mitigation, because there's things we don't want inside a clean environment. So we don't want static electricity. We don't want dust particles. We don't want moisture. And so something as simple as putting down polynite, which is reduced static electricity, it doesn't chip, it doesn't leave dust particles, it's clean. Little things like that, it's the details that matter. And we tend to follow data center infrastructure management parameters, which is a DSIM certification. We're not certified in DSIM, but a lot of our best practices parallel a lot of the infrastructure management that comes along with mission critical equipment and how we manage that. Even down to our investment in our logistics division for our technology services with mission critical trucks. I think Twigs mentioned we have a truck right now that it has backup generators. It has 110, 220 plugins. It's got a climate control environment. So these are things that we're investing in that, again, just kind of shows why we're a player in data center logistics and critical environments.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for this information. And what aspects of moving commercial equipment that companies are often overlooked?
Yeah, that's a question that I get asked often. And I think, again, touching on this a little bit earlier, it's really the planning phases. A lot of times our industry, because of the trust factor of our industry as a whole, there's a little bit of a divide between the technology community and the moving business, so to speak. And so, we realize that. And so we embrace that to the point where we can, build that trust with the technology community, where we can align with you at the planning phases of a consolidation, or if you're going to scale up and you're going to move your equipment to a data center, or if you're going to, migrate, there's still a physical infrastructure component that goes along with that. And so a lot of companies, I firmly believe, based on some experience, that they're a little apprehensive to bring a moving company to the table during the risk mitigation planning, during the planning phases, sitting down with the chief technology officer, sitting down with the CIO, the technology team, to really, when it comes time to doing the logistics or implementing the logistics and physical infrastructure, we can be a part of that conversation. And although it is a small piece of the overall equation, it's a very critical piece, because it's really the last front before you are looking at limiting your downtime. I mean, we play in that. I mean, we contribute to that greatly in limiting downtime. If you're not selecting a logistics provider that understands the subject matter, understands how the planning phases can integrate into the overall success of a physical relocation or a physical handling of your equipment, whether it's, we're having a critical environment text inside of the space, deracking, following elevation mapping plans, Visio file, port diagrams, doing a plug and play. Even if it's something like that, we can really add value, because seconds matter inside of a data center. Downtime matters. I think when you take your average tier 2 to tier 3 data center, your scheduled downtime in a calendar year may be 30 minutes out of a 365-day calendar year. So downtime matters. And in little seconds, minutes, even if it comes to delayed on, maybe we don't, have a Visio file that shows the desired future result, and we're kind of standing inside of the data center waiting for advisement from the technology team to say, SAN server goes in elevation 32 to 34. And, if we're figuring that out on the fly, it's really not good for your business continuity. So aligning us at the front end of those conversations, we do, bring a value to the table. And so we can we can produce the implementation plan and work on the logistics, even to actually providing the installation services with our critical environment tax, which is the last leg of a relocation inside of a data center or critical environment.
Thank you very much, guys, for being here with us today and giving us and our viewers insightful information about JK Moving Services.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel to not miss anything important. Thank you for watching Klik TV. Till next time, bye!